APMvideo.com is on the air, and today we're coming to you from Goodyear Baseball Park on a beautiful morning for our national pastime and two longtime great programs, the Sacramento Solons in the 73 and over national taking on Pat Fines and MBI Baseball. I'm Jeff Lowry with APM Video Sports. MBI, one of the favorites to go to the championship game. They have had a win over Mudville, 9-0, but lost to Cambria, one of the other favorites, 10-6. In two games, one win, one loss. And we're going to have a chance to talk to some of the players here momentarily as you get a look at the 2023 MBI baseball team. There's Jack Valentine out of San Diego, California. And you got one of the top pitchers going at it here today, and Howard Elson and Whistle and Enco, and this team is just loaded. Jeff Blatt, they got one of the top infields and one of the fastest guys in the entire 70-plus. You see him right there with the practice swings, and Eddie Kleeman, a Michigan native. Well, we won't hold it against him. And Pat Fines exchanging lineups there at home plate, and we are set for baseball. Our game time temperature, we should be around 68 degrees for the first pitch. My name is Jeff Lowry. I'll have the call of the game. And when we come back, all the exciting play-by-play, Jim Teeter, Jack Valentine. It's like the Berries reunited on APM Video.
I'm Jack Valentine, San Diego, Crawford High School class of 68. This is Jim Teeter, San Diego, Crawford High School class of 67. We're out here playing in the 73 and over division of hardball baseball, MSBL. Well, for myself, it's just making sure you don't get hurt, so I surf all week. I'm in the water all the time. In fact, the best surf of the year is right now in San Diego. I'm having to miss that, but just make sure you don't get hurt. Jimmy, what do you think?
I just think you got to keep active. You got to keep playing. Be out here every week. I play softball too. I play softball 3 or 4 times a week, baseball 2 or 3 times a week. You keep playing, you stay in shape. And I don't really do anything extra as far as exercises or anything like that. I just play and play.
Well, the remainder of our Berries team from 2018, when the Volkers actually knocked us off in 12 innings, that team folded because we couldn't get enough pitching, and it wasn't but just a few weeks before this tournament that we wound up, well, I guess we're not coming out. So I looked up Pat Fines, and I thought, well, what if Ruth and Garrett go join the Red Sox to play in the World Series? We can't beat you, might as well join you. Tell me about what happened to the team, Jimmy.
Well, our team, what happened is we only had 2 pitchers left. All the other guys had aged out. They're 75 years old, and they want to play in the 75 division, where they think a little more competitive. Probably true, but my philosophy, play every day. What the heck's wrong with playing the 73 and the 75 and the 70? I like the way MSBL set that up. You can't actually do that. Week 1, 70s, week 2, 73s, week 3, 75s.
Pat Fines, manager of MBI, and I am from the Philly area. We have guys from Detroit and California and Washington State. We've been playing together for probably 15, 16 years or so. And as we met other people through the tournaments, we've asked a few of them to play with us, and they have stayed with us since. So that's basically how this team was organized. We had a basic core of players, and then adding players through the years, 1 or 2 a year.
My name's Edward Kleeman. I'm from about 60 miles north of the city of Detroit, Michigan. And I'm out here playing in the 73s this week, actually for 2 reasons. First of all, just the ability to get out, get on any ball diamond, play a little ball, play a little catch, run and hit the ball a little bit with my compadres and my best friends that are still capable of doing it. And 2, I do it because I can do it. And I kind of do not look very forward to the day when I can't do this anymore, so I push it as hard as I can for as long as I can, knowing that, like everything else in life, it's going to end eventually. There's very few guys around. I've been playing this about 60 years now, 70 years probably, and at this level, I'm amazed at the number of guys that, 1, are out here, and 2, you don't see a lot of them that go 110, 120% for 9 innings. We've learned to go 110% for 2, 3 innings, back off, let another guy go 110, and then we go back in.
Getting a look at Jimmy Allen, the left-hander, and he is a workhorse. He usually goes deep into the games. He's a former teammate of Teeter and Valentine, and should be an interesting matchup here today. You got Howard Elson going for MBI, and I mean, you know, these are two throwback players. I'm not talking about their age. I'm talking about these guys. They want to go 8 or 9 innings. It's not like, well, 4 2/3 and 3 earned runs is a quality start like it is today. No, for these guys, going deep is a quality start. We got an injury right off the bat as Central Michigan alumni Ed Kleeman will start things off, and he got hit by a pitch. And instead of him coming up a little bit hurt, it's the starting catcher. So we're underway here in the 73-plus division. This is the national division, the highest of the 73 age group and over. And Kleeman with tremendous speed. He's an outstanding center fielder, and he is at first base. Next up is Jeff Blatt, Fort Washington, Pennsylvania. He was born in Philadelphia. He is a gynecologist, retired from Boston University. And he hits one back to Allen. He will go second one and throw to first. And did it pull the first baseman off the bag? It did. That'll be a fielder's choice. No error on the play. But the speedy Kleeman is off the base paths, and now that'll bring up Fred Krause. Flint, Michigan native. That's where he was born. Loves the good drinking water there. General Motors staff engineer. Went to GMI for his college, owner of the Laptop Barn. He has 3 kids, 9 grandchildren, and 4 great grandkids. This ball is going to fall in safely. And Terry Gamble unable to come up with it. As Jimmy Allen gets the start here for the Sacramento Solons. They've been a very successful team coming down to the MSBL World Series for quite some time now. And here's a ball hit towards the shortstop. He bobbles. He gives it to the second baseman. He never had it. Now, did the runner go out of the baseline? And they're going to say no, and I don't think they should call it. So that'll be an error on the second baseman. And runners are at first and second. We're in the top of the first inning. MBI batting. They're in the orange top. Top of the first inning, no score as MBI baseball trying to draw first blood against a very tough Jimmy Allen. And a slow roller to the right side. The second baseman will go second one, and the throw on to first not in time. So another fielder's choice. Now the runners are at first and third with 2 out. And here's Jim Teeter. Well, Teeter, one of the best players in the league. I mean, he's a tremendous defensive player. And, I mean, when you talk about the infield, second, short, and third for MBI, I mean, they got 3 very strong-armed infielders. And that really is an advantage, especially when you're talking about 73 and over league like we are right now. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on him. He's batting in the number 5 spot with first and third occupied. And 2 out here in the top of the first inning. He takes a strike on the other batter's box, and it's 1-2. And Allen very wisely going right back to that spot, but he left it too low. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jim Teeter. And he hits a hard ground ball, but the shortstop, who has been all over the infield, makes the play, and that'll retire the side. So Eubanks with a tremendous defensive first inning for the Solons. And at the end of a half an inning, MBI nothing, and the Sacramento Solons, they'll be facing Howard Elson. Now, we were talking about Jimmy Allen at the top of the broadcast. This is a guy who loves to go deep in ball games. Well, you talk about Howard Elson, not Elston Howard, Howard Elson getting the start here today, the right-hander, who has won the last two 70 or 73 and over championships with the Volkers group. He'll be facing Greg Dow to start things off here for Sacramento. And here is a ball hit to the second baseman. He fields and won't have a play. Dow with good speed. Cowbells all over the place. Defensively, you got Damza at first, Jeffers at second, Calcano at short, and Teeter at third. And again, the strong-arm infield. This might be the best infield of any team, 70, 73 and over. Kleeman is flanked by McNaughton and right, Krause in left. Krause covers a lot of ground. And Mitchell behind the plate, and Howard Elson doing the pitching here today. Coming to you from Goodyear Baseball Park, the winter home of the Reds and the Indians. Do I have to say Guardians? Here's a fly ball out in the center field. Kleeman coming on, but it's on the infield. And Jeffers makes the catch, and that's the first out as they retire Gil Hubert. Here's Steve Bry, the former major leaguer. Steve spent a lot of time with the Minnesota Twins. I've got a couple of his ball cards. I remember Steve as a kid. And when I got his ball card, never saw him play because I don't know how often we ever got a Minnesota Twins game. And he grounds a clean single up the middle. First pitch hitting. So they've had a pair of hits to start this contest. MBI in the field. The Solons of Sacramento will now send up Ron Williams. He's the cleanup hitter with first and second occupied and one man out in the pitch. And a bouncing ball to first. It's going to be knocked down there. Take it to the bag by Damza. Outstanding play. 2 down. You always got to get an out, if nothing else. So runners are at second and third for Irv Scott. He grounds one up the middle, and this one's got eyes into center field. Kleeman will field, and then tried to flip it to the shortstop, and the second run is going to score. A little miscommunication. Irv Scott with an RBI single, and it'll be an error on the center fielder on the throw, allowing the second run to come in. And with 2 out, a runner at first, Lanny Ropke. Bouncing one down the line. Nice backhanded play by Teeter, but that's a foul ball. Lanny Ropke is one of a very few that have played every season of the MSBL World Series. Now, I can't verify this if he's missed any in the last couple of years, but I think 2 years ago, he would have had to miss last year to break that streak. And I think 3 years ago, there were 11 people, not including Mark Gallo, the PA announcer at Tempe Diablo Stadium. He's also been in every one. And I'm not talking about Pendergrast and Sigler. I'm talking about people around the tournament. But Lanny is one of them. He just got hit by a pitch. So now runners are at first and second, and the Solons off to a good start. They lead it 2-0 here on APM Video. And now the outstanding defensive shortstop, Gary Eubank. Gary's probably thinking, I'm sitting here bragging on Sal at shortstop, but, he proved in that first inning that he can make all the routine plays at least. And he hits one in the air to the second baseman, and Jeffers with a nice running catch. Jack Valentine will be the first coming up, a.k.a. Jackie Gleason. After one, the Solons lead MBI 2-0.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, smile for the camera.
Jeff Lowry here. Jack Valentine is bunting, trying to get something going here as his team down 2-0. Valentine out of San Diego, California. He's a lifelong surfer. He always will be. And he bunts one first base side. This should be an easy play, and the tag is made by Steve Bry, who played many years with the Minnesota Twins, and there's one down. So Jack is out 3 unassisted. 1 down here in the top of the second inning, and Charles Jeffers, outstanding second baseman out of Pittsburgh, California. Current town is Tacoma, Washington. He is an engineer, or was. Went to Baptist Bible College. And he pops up to Bry, who can't make the basket catch. Charles Jeffers, at the 4th of 6 children. Father was 102 years old, got married for the 5th time last year. My goodness. That's his father. Wow. Charles is the father of 4 children. Lived 7 months in Mazatlan, Mexico. Partner is Rebecca, and here's a shot into left field, base hit. Let's see if he can turn this into 2. They get to it quickly out there. And the throw comes in, and he's held to a single. That is the first hit of the day for MBI baseball. Jeffers also an all-tournament shortstop, 89 World Series, won 4 World Series rings. He's won 3 basketball championships. Well, here is McNaughton. He's batting for the first time out of Tacoma, Washington. Birthtown, he's a Canadian from Alberta and attended Brigham Young University, occupation MD, family practice. So once again, someone smarter than me, he's going to get a free pass to first base. First and second occupied with 1 out, and here's John Damza. Damza, the first baseman, Birthtown, Patterson, New Jersey. Currently lives in Firestone, Colorado. Retired UPS. Attended Calvin College in Michigan College. He is retired. He has 1 son and also spent 6 years in the United States Air Force. And he hits one to center field, coming on and making the catch. Nice play. And that's going to be out number 2. And now Bill Mitchell coming up to the plate, and he skies one out into right center field. That ball drops in for a base hit. This should plate the run. Coming around third, and up, they're going to hold him up, and it's a long single. So Mitchell is aboard. That's the second hit of the day for MBI, and the bases are loaded. And we go back to the top of the order. Ed Kleeman, the center fielder, fleet-footed center fielder, was hit by a pitch and got out on a fielder's choice. He chops one past the pitcher's mound. Here's the shortstop throwing to first. He will not throw to first. And, well, we've got a play at second, and 2 runs are going to score as the throw got away. So give Kleeman an infield hit and an RBI. The second run comes in on an error, and just like that, we are tied at 2 apiece. That'll bring up Jeff Blatt. Blatt reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. We're in the top of the second, 2-2 tie. 2 out. And runners are at first and second. And he chops one over the mound. Here's the shortstop. Will he have time? And the throw is not in time. Another infield hit, and the bases are loaded. Good job by a guy who hit one out of the ballpark in a Puerto Rican tournament. And I think he might have even got married at home plate. I wonder if he, as he's a product of Boston University, an OB/GYN physician, and he is out there at first base, and the next batter up is Fred Krause. You know, these guys, I've seen this. I've filmed several of these guys getting married at home plate like a Tempe Diablo. This is trouble, and this ball is going to drop in for a hit. That's going to score a run, and MBI has just taken the lead here in the top of the second. RBI single for Krause, who told me before the game he has played a lot of years. There he is, Fred Krause, good left fielder. 17 years in the MSBL and Roy Hobbs. Played many years playing softball, slow pitch softball. And now the next batter is Gene, and he drives one deep in the right field. That ball is hit a ton. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. And MBI is pouring it on. They have scored 6 times here in the second inning on a big 2-run double by Gene Barada.
Give me up, Jeter. We bat around. Way to go. Way to go.
And they lead it 6-2 here in the the top half of inning number 2. Now Jim Teeter. That ball gets away. Well, at the 73 and over age group, pass ball, wild pitch, you can't advance. Thank God. Thank goodness. They ought to have that rule for maybe the guys 20 years younger. It would make for these games to go and move along a lot quicker. Now the dangerous Teeter. Ground ball, base hit up the middle. Here comes the center fielder. He's up with the ball. He's going to run it in. Here comes the runner, and the throw to the plate. It gets away from the catcher, but the runner's going to stay put. Gene stayed at third, playing it safe. And Teeter, and we have batted around here in inning number 2. And here's Jack Valentine. He started the inning off. He tried to bunt his way aboard and was out 3 unassisted. So the MBI Baseball Club has batted around, and now Jack Valentine out of San Diego, California at the plate. Well, it's been a tough inning for Jimmy Allen. Here's a ground ball to the right side and gobbled up there. Nice job by Hal Young, and he's going to be safe. They called him out. Oh, my goodness, what a terrible call by the officials. And now Jack Valentine wants to get the official, the home plate umpire, to get a little help.
No, he never missed me. Peel. He never came close. Peel. He never got me. Peel to this guy.
You don't appeal to me. I asked for help.
Oh.
Backside. That's why I pointed.
Well, then he missed it. Shoot.
That's why he's there.
Got it. Well, he didn't get it right either.
Guys, here we go now.
He didn't get it right either.
But it doesn't matter. They score 6 times. We go to the home half of the second inning. MBI 6, Solons 2.
Missed me.
It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. He missed me by a foot.
So Howard Elson, the starting pitcher in his second inning of work, has been staked to a 4-run lead after his MBI offense scores 6 times in the top of the second inning. Grounded to the right side. Slow roller. Dams it to the bag. 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Bron Williams, or rather Hugh Hayden, with Cy Rogers on deck. Bottom of the second, MBI with a 6-2 lead. Well, that's ball 4. So Hugh Hayden heading down to first base, and here is Cy Young Rogers. Well, a beautiful day here. We got started a little late, 8:35, and our first pitch game time temperature on this October 25th, 68 degrees. We finally got a break in the weather. Here's a smash and knocked down on one hop, but Sal couldn't come up with it. That ball was hit pretty well. You got an exit velocity of probably better than 80 miles per hour. That'll go for a base hit. Exit velocity provided to you by StatCast and, of course, our good friends, our wonderful good friends at Google, who never, ever invade your privacy. Here's a ball hit down to third. Teeter to the bag for 1. Throw it to second. That's a double play. What a fine defensive play by Jim Teeter. He takes it to the bag, turns in a 5-4 inning-ending double play. We go to the third, and MBI leads the Solons 6-2. This is APMvideo.com. So we go to the third inning here. Charles Jeffers, the second baseman, and he hits one hard, and he hits it to Hal Young. He's up. He throws. He got him. And there's one down here in the top of the third inning. MBI got 6 runs, capped off on RBI hits by Krause and Barada. And Jim Teeter also had an RBI hit, along with Ed Kleeman. So the offense getting the job done. 1 out, and here is Mars McNaughton, the left-handed hitter. Mars from Alberta, born in Alberta, Canada. Left-handed hitter up there, and the pitch is grounded and through the infield for a base hit. Boy, a good, clean hit. Mars with his second plate appearance, and he has been on base both times. He got on with a free pass in the second and a single here in the third. Next batter up, first baseman, is going to be John Damza. And it's a benefit that you don't have a guy that's, 5'6" playing first base. It's good, someone that's, got some length down there at first base, and that can really help out your infield, and especially this infield for MBI. I think they've got very strong-armed infield as he grounds one to the right side, and that one got through the legs, and that'll go out in the right center field. And here's the runner going from first to third. That's impressive. There'll be an error on the second baseman, and runners are at first and third with 1 out, and the final hitter in the lineup for Pat Fines is Bill Mitchell. Mitch had a base hit, a run scored in the second. First pitch, and lifted to second base on 1 hop. Young to second, and on to first, not in time. Well, a nice job by the Keystone combination. And credit Mitchell, even though he gets the fielder's choice. I've come up with a new statistic. As the run scores, he gets an RBI, and we go back to Kleeman at the top of the order, who has been on base both times and doing what a leadoff hitter should do, getting on base. Quality at bats. And anytime you drive in a run, anytime you move a runner up, not anytime, with less than 1 out. If you move a runner from second to third, I'm giving you a quality at bat. I came up with this because I had nothing else to do in the 3 weeks of this MSBL tournament. Now, I've already come up with another statistic that the commissioner of baseball will not acknowledge, and that's RBI at bats. And I think that's important. And another stat I'd like to bring back is runs produced. You'd never hear major league announcers talk about runs produced in a game. And here's a ground ball foul. Kleeman brings an element at this 73 level with that tremendous speed. You have to keep him off the base paths if you're going to have success. He's been on base twice. He's scored 1.
2-2.
And his team is up 7-2. And a good eye there for Michigan. Now, being an Ohio guy, I have to bite my tongue here. But anyway, this ball is hit out into left field. It's going to hold up for the left fielder, and he will make the catch, and that will retire the side. They get 1, and MBI now with a 7-2 lead as we head now to the home half of the third inning. And you're watching the 36th annual MSBL World Series. This is apmvideo.com. All right, Steve Bry standing in, and he will lead things off here. Check that. Gil Hubert, Steve Bry, Ron Williams. And here's a line smash. Left field, base hit. So the first batter is aboard. That is hit number 4 for the Sacramento Solons. And now Steve Bry is coming to the plate. Bry had a hard ground ball into left center field his first time up, and he takes ball 1. Had a championship game here for Jack Valentine 5 years ago. I can't believe it was that long ago. The game went 4 hours, and I think I had to leave because I had another commitment. I wasn't working on being there that long. Here's a shot to center and a spectacular sprawling catch by Ed Kleeman, our Marucci big play of the day. Well, a sinking line drive, one of the hardest plays for an outfielder to make. And Steve Bry gets robbed by Ed Kleeman in center field. Central Michigan alumni, and there's one down in the inning for Ron Williams. I think Bry in that championship game, as this one's looped out there. Kleeman, nice effort, can't make the play, and good hustle to get out to the ball. And Jeffers gets it back in. They throw to third in time for the out. How about that? Jeffers looking to get a gold glove here in 2023 in this World Series. And Gil Hubert is shaken up. There's two down. You got a runner at first base, and here's Irv Scott. But Steve Bry he was like 5 for 5 in that game. And here's a shot out of play, and it's 0-1 on Irv Scott. He had an RBI single in the first. Third inning work for Howard Elson, and a bouncing ball to the right side. Jeffers and the underhanded flip. He'll give it to Sal, and the third inning is in the books. We head to the fourth. You're watching APN. And the 36th annual MSBL World Series round-robin play in the 73 and over National Division. All right, Jeff Blatt, third time up. He's reached on a fielder's choice, singled and scored. That was in the second. Softly hit, third base side. Jimmy Allen fields the position as well as anybody, but that's going to go for a hit. That'll bring up Fred Krause. Outstanding left fielder. Bouncing ball towards the hole. Shortstop going the short route and not in time. The ruling is safe. So Krause, Blatt, back-to-back base hits. First and second occupied. Bry playing first base here for Sacramento. And now the cleanup hitter is Gene Barada. And a swing and a fly ball center and playable. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. And the batter's Jim Teeter. He had an RBI hit, and that's 6-run second. We're in the fourth, 7-2 MBI. Teeter just perhaps one of the best all-around players, but he grounds one to short. And Eubanks goes to second. Awkward slide by Fred out there. Hopefully he's going to be all right. That's a fielder's choice. Runners are at first and third, two down. And here is Jackie Gleason himself, resurrected for the MSBL World Series. No, it's not Jackie Gleason. It's Jack Valentine. But the name on his back says Gleason. Jack's claim to fame is as the world's first flying drummer with Mick Mars from Motley Crue, and a band once called Motley Crue 10 years before Tommy Lee ever thought of flipping his drum set upside down. Out of the San Diego, California area, going up against his old buddy and rival Jimmy Allen. Swing and a miss. That's a good cut, though. I mean, you make contact with that kind of swing, and you're probably going to hit the ball pretty hard. You're going to have a decent exit velocity. He knows what Jimmy Allen throws. He knows him very well. And he's going to get to him eventually, even though he's 0 for 2 today. But he tried to bunt on him. Now, remember, Jack has not played in 5 years. So you got to give him some, a little bit of a break right there as he sends one back to the screen. He's cousins with former National League Rookie of the Year, Jimmy Lefevre, who lived out here for many years, and owner of Action Video Productions for 30. And here's a ball hit towards the shortstop and tried to knock it down. I think he did, but that's an infield hit. He had no chance to get Valentine, who still runs so well. I mean, really amazing. So the run will score. Valentine will be credited with an infield hit and an RBI, his first RBI of the day. Runners are at first and second with 2 out. And here's Jeffers. Jeffers, the slick fielding second baseman. Of course, we're only in the top of the 4th inning, but we've already played close to an hour and a half. So the game will have to pick up if we're going to even get 8 innings in, let alone 9. I doubt that we'll see 9 innings in the game. Jimmy Allen on the mound, going up against Charles Jeffers. 1 for 2 at the plate, and he grounds 1 foul. And there's an argument that Jeffers, Sal at short, Jim at third. Damza at first base. I'm kind of talking about is this one skied out in the center field? This might be the best infield in the 70 and over, let alone 73. So Eubanks makes the catch. They get a run on an RBI infield hit by Valentine as we go to the bottom half of inning number 4 from Goodyear Ballpark. Howard Elson coming out for his 4th inning of work, and his team has staked him to an 8-2 lead. He'll be facing Lanny Ropke to start things off here, bottom half of inning number 4. And over at first base now is going to be Gene Barada. Teeter and Calcagno is the left side of the infield, and of course the always dependable Charles Jeffers at second base. So that's your infield. Entwistle is doing the catching for MBI baseball. Ropke was hit by a pitch, hit right in the numbers in his back, and smashes one into left field. And he is just a good professional hitter. He drives a base hit number 6 for the Sacramento Solons, who now trail it 8-2. It's Solons, not so long, Solons. Runner at first, leadoff hitter, and now shortstop Gary Eubank. Popped up to the second baseman back in the first inning. Solons scored 2 in the first. Ground ball short. Here's Sal to second. And Charles throw on to first. And that's a 6-4-3 double play, 2 down. Outstanding turn. And when I brag about players like I have in this game and then they turn in a play like that, boy, does that make me look good. 2 down in the inning. And here is Hal Young. Hal Young grounded out to first back in the second inning. And a drive knocked down by the first baseman, and the pitcher covering, and Hal Young outraced the pitcher to the bag. That's a base hit. Hit number 7 for Sacramento. So a good job of hitting by Hal Young. Gene made an outstanding effort toward it, but that ball was kind of scorched down the first base line. And now the batter is Hugh Hayden. Hayden drew a walk back in the second inning, his only at bat of the ball game. Bottom half of the 4th inning, MBI 8, the Solons 2 on APM video. And here's a tapper down to Teeter, and he'll kick it around a little bit. Will he have time? He will throw to first, and he does. That's a great play in terms of sticking with it, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 left on at the end of 4. MBI leads 8-2. This is APN video at the MSBL World Series. All right, back here at Goodyear Baseball Park, Jeff Lowry with you. Mars McNaughton takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. We're in the top half of inning number 5, 8-2. MBI leads it. They've had RBIs by Kraus, Kleeman. Gene Barada had a 2-run. I think that was a 2-run double. If I cheated him, I'm sorry. Bill Mitchell must have gotten an RBI. I didn't write that down. And Jim Teeter. And here's a fly ball foul. I think Gene's was a 3-run hit. McNaughton starting things off here in the 5th inning against Jimmy Allen. The wind, the kick, the pitch. And a bouncing ball back to the mound, and he fields it as well as anyone. He'll throw him out at first base. And there's one down. That goes 1-3 for those of you scoring at home. And now John Damza looking for his first hit. He reached on an error. Actually, they are going to send up a new hitter, and this is Gary Falks. So Falks batting for John Damza. He's a left-hander. Similar, looks like almost a similar build. Gary Falks, he's 75.4 years old. I like the age on the roster. It breaks it down right to the Milla number, and here's a ground ball, whatever a Milla number is. And Steve Bry is going to take it to the bag, and there's 2 down. 3 unassisted, 2 out. Here's Bill Mitchell. Mitchell is 73.1 years old. And we have a trivia question for you. 6 teams in Major League Baseball, current Major League franchise, who have never won a World Series title. Believe it or not, there's still 6 teams that haven't done it. And Lanny Ropke can't get there. Now, one of them's in the playoffs, and could be in the World Series this year. Or they are in the World Series, I should say, the Texas Rangers. So I gave you a hint. One of the teams, they could win it. Can you name the other 5? I didn't mean to give you the one. Here's a bouncing ball up the middle. That's going to find center field, and that's a base hit for Mitchell. Well, he's driven in a run in each of his first 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored, and now Enco is going to get bat for the first time, added to the bottom of the order.
Adding 10 to the bottom.
Jerry Enco, 74.7 years young. First pitch to him is a strike. Nope, he called it a little bit low. Ball 1. There's a look at Jimmy Allen, the starting pitcher here today for the Solons. And the count will even at 1 ball and 1 strike, I believe, if he called that a strike. And a ground ball shortstop, Eubanks, will go to first, and a good, strong throw to retire the side. So no runs, 1 left, and we're halfway through this morning affair. MBI leading 8-2. This is apmvideo.com. Jeff Lowry back here, bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's a swing and a long drive foul. As Cy Rogers bats for the second time, he's 1 for 1, and a swing and a miss, and he finds himself down in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Final hitter in the lineup, and then we'll see if the Solons will add players to the bottom, or we'll go back to Greg Dow, the leadoff hitter in the starting lineup. And I'll tell you, Howard Elson wanted that pitch big time. And he's going to get a strikeout anyway, and the runner will concede. And that is the first punch-out for Howard Elson, who gave up 2 runs, 1 unearned run in the first inning, and he's been lights out ever since, as he has scattered 7 hits over 4 1/3 inning. And right on cue, they do bring up a new hitter, and this is going to be 99. I don't have a 99 on the roster. He grounds 1 down to third. Teeter backs up, gets the big hop. He fires on to first, and the throw was a little low and gets away. So our infamous 99 will reach on the error. And we're going to have another player added to the bottom. Hopefully he's on the roster. If he ever turns around, he takes a strike. I believe this is Dave Sutherland. And he chops 1 first base side. 0-2. And a swing and a miss. And down he goes. And that's a second strikeout here in the 5th inning for Howard Elson. So there's 2 down. We go back to the top of the order. Greg Dow has singled, scored, and hit into a 5-4 double play. A tremendous play by Jim Dieter back in the second inning. That was after MBI had scored 6 times in the top of the inning, and then, Jim Dieter made that great play, taking it to the bag and then throwing to second to get that trailing runner. Well, a generous call by the base umpire. He did go around. Howard Elson. Now, Howard would be, if the 73 MBIs can make it to the championship, he would be available for the national championship or the World Series championship game, winner take all, which will be played Sunday morning at Indian School Park, and I believe it's Field 1. And there's still plenty of tickets, surprising, left for that one. So go online right now and pick up your ticket to the championship game. Ground ball, Teeter charges. He will go the short route to second, and they will get the out. Jeffers on the put out, and we are heading to the 6th. It is all MBI. They lead 8-2. You're watching APNvideo.com from the 36th Annual Men's Senior Baseball League World Series. Jimmy Allen back out there in his 6th inning of work. Here's a bunt, third base side. The throw will not be in time. And so the leadoff hitter is aboard. And that will be John Entwistle. So John is aboard, and we go back to the top of the order. And Eddie Kleeman, we got a courtesy runner out there for Entwistle. And Eddie taking all the way, and that's ball 1. 8-2 MBI. Entwistle at first base. 3 great grandkids, 6 grandkids, 4 children. Attended college at RIT out of Coopersburg, Pennsylvania. Well, Ed Kleeman has been hit by a pitch, RBI run scored, and is 1 for 2 at the plate. Made a very nice catch out in center field. And he fouls this one back and out of play. And I know his family probably looking on for this game. If there is a championship game in the future for MBI, as this one's driven into right field, and that's a base hit. So that's a second hit for Kleeman. 13 hits now in total for MBI baseball. Jeff Blatt drives one, gap right center field. 1 run is going to come in. And let's see if Kleeman is going to score, and he will. And you can just see he's not even running hard, and he's got the tremendous speed. So Entwistle, who got lifted for a courtesy runner, nonetheless, that runner scores. We're going to get a courtesy runner for Jeff Blatt, so he gets credited with 2 RBIs. It's a 2-run single to right center field for Jeff Blatt, and it's now 10-2. Here's another base hit as Fred Krause hits one out into left field. So runners will be at first and second, and that's hit number 15. 10 runs, 15 hits. And now Barada. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Here's a ball hit to the right side. They will go second 1, and the throw on to first, and that will be a double play. So that goes 4-6-3. Runner at third now, and there is 2 down here in the inning. I'll bring up Jim Teeter. Teeter is hit into 2 fielder's choices and has an RBI single in 3 tries. And he takes ball 1. Jack Valentine on deck, the fan favorite. And here's a shot down to first base. Nice play by Steve Bry, the former major leaguer. He'll take it to the bag. That is his third put out via a ground out. And we are heading now to the bottom of the sixth inning. It is now 10-2 in favor of MBI baseball, and now the fleet-footed center fielder Jack Valentine takes over in center, trying to save the legs of Ed Kleeman. So 10-2, bottom of the sixth inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Sacramento Solons. It'll be Hubert and Bry and Williams, and a shot out in the center field. And that ball's going to get away from Valentine. Let's see if he goes for two. Here's the throw, and they're going to hold him to a long single. Outstanding play by Jack Valentine. Well, that ball could have easily been a two-base hit. Second straight hit for Gil Hubert. And now Steve Bry, who is 1 for 2. He was robbed on a great catch back in the third by Ed Kleeman. He takes the first pitch, ball one. Bottom of the sixth, MBI in the field. They lead 10-2. Grounded down to third, Teeter. Boy, a nice play. It's kind of nice having a Brooks Robinson down there at the hot corner. And another ground ball, and Teeter gobbles it up. Fires to second. They get one there. What a defensive play by Jim Teeter. That'll go 5-4 as they get the force out at second base. And now the batter's Ron Williams. Grounded out to first and singled. He grounds one on a bunt foul. And it's 0-1. Teeter. And a running catch. No, he dropped the ball. He did drop the ball. No error on the play. He had to go a long ways for that. And you got a runner at first base. One man out. We're in the home half of the sixth inning. Sixth inning of work for Howard Elson, who has pitched a gem here and would be available if this MBI baseball team, as he gets the called third strike. Outstanding job. That's the third strikeout. That's the third strikeout in the game, and all three of these have come in the last inning and two-thirds. Now Irv Scott, the first pitch, ball one. Third strikeout of the day for Howard Elson. Bouncing ball right back to the mound. He can field it. He'll throw to first, and we are heading to the seventh inning. It's the 36th annual Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. And so far, MBI dominating 10-2. As Pat Fines talks to Jack Valentine between innings. And our Jackie Gleason sighting.
Better not show up on YouTube.
Oh, you will.
Oh, there's a charge.
Oh, no, you got to pay me to not put it up there.
Oh, they got to pay me to put it on there.
Coming up first, Jack Valentine. He had an infield RBI hit his last time up, and he's 1 for 3. Going up against his former colleague and Jimmy Allen. We're in the top of the seventh inning, 10-2 MBI. A big 6-run second has been the difference. Here's a drive into right field. That's a base hit. It gets by the right fielder. Here comes Valentine, and he's in with a leadoff stand-up double to start inning number 7. So he goes opposite field, gets the double, and here's Charles Jeffers, who's 1 for 3. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. And here's a shot to the second baseman. That ball was hit hard, and that's going to be a base hit for Jeffers. Here's Valentine around third, and he will score easily. And he just gliding around the bases, and it's 11-2 MBI baseball. Mars McNaughton, the next scheduled hitter. Mars has been hit by a pitch single. He has bounced out pitcher to first, and he has scored 2 runs. Jimmy Allen still out there in his 7th inning of work, the southpawer. I'll tell you, the home plate umpire, he makes that hand gesture like it's a strike, but he also uses the same hand gesture to say if the ball's outside. So honestly, I'm not sure what that last pitch was. McNaughton offered at that one, and that is a strike. 2 strikes on Mars, trying to get his second hit of the ball game. And that one is inside. Should be full count here. Allen to the plate, and that is strike 3 called. He got him. Well, that was an outstanding pitch by Jimmy Allen, which has just struck out his first batter of the game. So there's one down here. A run is in. 11-2 MBI. Here's a ground ball. And the shortstop will field to second, and they're going to say out. Jeffers is out, and there's 2 down. So that'll go as a fielder's choice. 2 down in the inning. And Bill Mitchell is going to be lifted for a pinch hitter here. And this is Rich Ellings, and that ball is going to stay fair. How about that? Ellings is aboard. Runners are at first and second. And now the batter is Jerry Enco. And he takes ball 1. And a ground ball up the middle. And this ball is going to find center field. That's a base hit. And let's see if the runner will score as Enco comes through with a base hit. And the bases are now loaded. Bases loaded, 1 out. A run is already in. And it's 11-2 in favor of MBI baseball here from the 36th Annual Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. Jimmy Allen on the mound. He's eating up a lot of innings. The Solons are hoping that they'll be still playing on Saturday, or rather Sunday morning. Here's a ball, ground ball, second baseman. They'll go shortstop, and they will get the out, and that will retire the side. They get a run. They leave 3. 7th inning stretch time from Goodyear. All right, Lenny Ropke will start things off, followed by Eubank, and scheduled up Hal Young. First pitch swung on and fouled back. Lanny has been hit by a pitch. He is singled and is 2 times up, but his team trails 11-2 as we go to the home half of the 7th inning. Well, it's the 7th inning of work for the right-handed starting pitcher for MBI, Howard Elson. And here's a ground ball to the shortstop. He juggles it, but Sal up and throws, and they will make the tag, and the ball comes loose. And now Lanny takes a big spill. And hopefully he's going to be all right. I know he's a big, strong guy, but you start getting past the 50s and the 60 years of age as this one's come back. Howard's got it. He goes to second. He goes to first, and that's a 1-4-3 double play, 2 down.
10.
Well, an outstanding job on the turn. Ellings, who had a bunt single, and now turns a 1-4-3 double play, 2 down in the inning. And Hal Young batting for the 3rd time. He's 1 for 2, and he drives a single into center field. Boy, nice job by Jack Valentine to keep that ball at bay. Hal Young still runs pretty well. He might have got a triple on that one if it got by. So an outstanding play by Valentine in center field, and now Hayden. And Hayden skies one down the line. It is out of play. Just foul, actually. Eddie Kleeman starting to loosen up in the bullpen. And here's a ground ball down to third, and that is just foul past Jim Teeter. The thing about Elson, you kind of want to maybe save some pitches for him. If you're going to bring him back late in the playoffs, and he's already in his 7th inning of work, you might want to save some bullets there in the 8th inning with this sizable 11-2 lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 2 out, runner at first, and that's inside ball 4. Well, if you're Pat Fines right now, you may want to make a pitching change here. You got the big lead. Solons should get one more at bat in this game. We're in the 7th. This ballpark opened for the Reds and the Cleveland Indians in 2009. Well, I was the first public address announcer here, just FYI, not bragging, but it was a lot of fun. I met Bob Feller, talked to him several times. And in fact, he died later that year. But he came up into the booth, and we had a nice conversation, talked baseball for 20 minutes. Ground ball knocked down by Teeter. He's up with it. He throws to second, and you notice that he kept his composure and a tremendous play, and that'll end the inning. So we are heading to the top of the 8th. MBI leads at 11-2. This is apmvideo.com. 11-2 is our score as we head now to the top of the 8th inning. First up is going to be Jesse Williams. Added, I believe, to the bottom of the order. We'll see if Black comes up next. Or will it be the leadoff hitter in the original starting lineup, Ed Kleeman? Swing and a miss. He's got a good swing. If he can pull off those breaking pitches, he's very dangerous at the plate. Looks like Cy Rogers is now doing the catching, and we got a new pitcher in for Jimmy Allen, who went 7 innings. And here's a ground ball down to first. That's a foul ball. Steve Bry still in, and the new pitcher is our infamous 99. Guess what? No 99 on the roster. Here's a base hit in the right field. Well, we talked about that smooth swing that Williams possesses. So he is aboard to start the top half of the 8th inning for the MBI Baseball Club. And here's Park batting for the first time. Rick Park, 76.8 years old. And he takes ball 1. Well, let's see if Park can extend this 9-run lead for MBI Baseball. Coming to you from Goodyear Baseball Park. Yeah, when Bob Feller, I had Bob Feller here and came up to the booth. We talked for about 20 minutes. He was giving autographs. I made that man probably $30,000 in the 30 days that he was here. That's ball 4. So the first 2 have reached for MBI Baseball because no one knew he was here. And I said, well, Bob, let me make an announcement for you. And did I see 1 dime? No. He gave me 2 autographs. 2 autograph pictures, and the ink faded a couple years ago. So now all I have is a picture of him. All right, here's Ed Kleeman. Chopper foul. He has scored twice. He has done what a leadoff man is supposed to do, get on base, which has been 3 of the 4 times he's been up there. He has scored 2. He's driven in a run. He pops this one up, and this one's going to drop in, and Kleeman's going to make it to first base. I'm surprised it was even that close. So he's going to get credited with a base hit, and they are loaded here in the 8th inning. So the bases are loaded for Jeff Blatt. And he lines one into left field, dropping base hit. 1 run will score. It's 12-2. Young's throw to third. Kind of close. But the run will score. Bases remain loaded.
12-2.
And Blatt with his third RBI, excuse me. Courtesy runner at first base is going to be Tom Flournoy. And now Krause. And he hits one hard down the left field line, and that's out of play. 0-1 the count on the left fielder. The pitch to Fred Krause in there, strike 2 called. The pitch. And it's grounded to shortstop. Eubanks goes to second. They'll get one there, and that is all. Well, the fielder's choice will produce a run. He's got 2 RBIs. 2 runs are in the inning, and it's 13-2. And now Gene had a 3-run double in the second inning, but is only 1 for 4. But he'll take that 3-run double, no doubt about it. Only 1 man out in the inning. Runners are at first and third, and Gene with a chance to maybe have a 4 or 5 RBI morning here from Goodyear. Good hitter. '74 years young. Hoping to push across another run here. And he hits one, a line drive down the right field line, and that ball was scorched. The throw comes back in. He's got an RBI hit. That is his 4th RBI of the day. Eddie Kleeman coming around. Runners will be at first and second. It is a 3-run inning. A 3-run inning makes it now 14-2. Well, MBI off to a good start. Jim Teeter, line drive, base hit center field. Another run is in. Runners at first and second. It's 15-2. So Jim Teeter, his second RBI at bat. His second hit. He's 2 for 5 at the plate. His defense has been instrumental. And now Jack Valentine batting for now the 5th time. He has had base hits his last 2 times up. He's 2 for 4 RBI and a run scored. He sends one in the air, right center field, and this ball is going to be dropped by the right fielder. As the ball comes back in, and Valentine is aboard, and that's a base hit. Well, the hits just keep on coming. He does not drive in a run. The bases remain loaded. 4 runs have come across, and now Charles Jeffers. 4 runs have come across. It's 15-2 in favor of MBI baseball. Again, still trying to verify the pitch. That is ball 4, and that is going to force in a run. So for Jeffers, a 2 for 4 day with 2 RBI at bats, and it is now 16-2. Next up, Mars McNaughton, one of the great names in the MSBL World Series. We are in the top of the 8th inning. And the bases remain loaded. Here's a line drive off the glove of the second baseman out into right field. The 6th run of the inning is going to come across, and now it is 17-2 MBI. RBI single for Mars McNaughton. First pitch in there, a called strike, John Damza. And he hits one, a one-hopper to the shortstop. Eubank takes the short route, and they'll throw to first. And can they turn the double play? And Bry cannot make the play. Well, Valentine scores, and that is the 7th run of the inning. It's 18-7. So Jack Valentine, boy, you look at his numbers, 3 hits, 2 runs, an RBI. And here is Ellings, who had a bunt single.
6.5.
He's probably happy that we don't have his name to go along with a number 99 on the roster. Ellings had a hit last inning. And he's a tough competitor. He can foul them off. He can run a pitch count up in the event that they want to lead him off. And he's making 99 work a little extra hard here. Fouled off. Well, he swings and comes up empty-handed. And we are heading to what will be the final half inning of play, barring a miraculous comeback.
4.
The Reds dugout. Look at this. The Reds. Cincinnati Reds. The Ohio boys sitting in the Cincinnati Reds dugout. See right there? Make them change their names because the Russians aren't going to like it.
18-2 is our score. That's what I got. And Sal will take over on the mound here as we go to the bottom half of inning number 8. First batter up, swings and fouls one off. This is, well, I think this is Terry Gamble. Ron Williams is a taller number 6, and he takes outside for a ball. Well, Sal's got a good fastball. He's got good movement on that two-seamer, and he leaves that one high. So we are in the bottom of the 8th. This will be the last inning of play. We've reached the 3-hour time limit. Well, we will in about 5 minutes. And that's going to be ball 4, so Terry Gamble is aboard. And look at that. We got a left-handed fielding third baseman Eddie Kleeman. All right, so the batter is now number 10, and this is Dave Sutherland batting for the second time. Struck out back in the 5th inning. Answer to the trivia question, the 6 Major League current franchise that have not won a World Series: San Diego in the National League West, Colorado in the National League West. I already mentioned the Texas Rangers, San Diego, Colorado, ground ball, right side, take it to second for 1, and that will be all. And the throw to first not in time. Are they going to get him for interference? I'm wondering. There's a stop in play. The batter is Greg Dowles. We go back to the top of the order. And now Lanny Ropke is out there talking to the officials. Let's give you the rest of that trivia question. The 6 current franchises in Major League Baseball without a World Series title: the San Diego Padres, Colorado Rockies, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Texas Rangers, the Seattle Mariners, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, or Tampa Bay Rays, as they are now called.
Ruling interference.
So with the ruling interference, all right, Sal is going to now deal with Greg Dowell, their outstanding leadoff hitter, and he takes one high and tight. Actually, I stand corrected. This is still Dave Sutherland. And here's a pop-up and out of play. Sutherland, like I said, a strikeout victim his last time up. And this ball is hammered out in the center field. Valentine not able to throw to first. He might have had a play, but Sutherland has a clean single to center field. And I think Sutherland was batting for Greg Dowell. Here's Hubert, the second place hitter, who has 2 hits in the game and drives it to left field. And that ball, I think, may have hit the left fielder in the face. That's going to drop in. Got to deal with that high sky, a very bright sun. And Tom just came into the ball game. Hopefully he's all right. You got 2 on here. And here is Steve Bry with a shot to left field, and that's going to be in for a hit. Nice play by Flournoy, but the run will score, and it's now 18-3. RBI hit for Steve Bry. That is his second hit in 2 tries. And next up is Ken Adams. And he's first pitch hitting. Ground ball down to third, and Eddie throws it away. So Eddie getting a chance to play a little third base as a left-handed thrower. And another run is in to make it 18-4. So Styles still out there for MBI. This is the final inning as we wind down round robin play here. A big game between Sacramento and the MBI Orange team. MBI, one of the heavy favorites to win the 73 National Division. A lot of people feel that, they're going to have a good shot at being the number 1 seed, undefeated. Here's a bouncing ball. Nice reaction there by Sal. And he will throw on to first, and that should do it. The ball game is over. And MBI, behind the outstanding pitching of Howard Elson and tremendous hitting. They put 18 on the board, led by 4 RBIs by their cleanup hitter, Gene Barata. And they win this one over Sacramento, which is traditionally a great team. So for our entire outstanding crew, Jeff Lowry saying so long from Goodyear Ballpark. And we'll see you hopefully on Sunday.